All right, everybody, what's up? I'm Albie13, Season 3, DMZ, Reloaded, coming May 10th. So, the onus has been laid upon me to tell you what I know about the new Exclusion Zone. All right, so let's take a look. Season 3 Reloaded, or Season 3.5, as we sometimes say when we talk in about DMZ. There's a raid coming, episode number 3. There's Warzone ranked play and other stuff coming, but we're focusing on DMZ because that's what I like, and it's enough to focus on that. A new DMZ experience. That's what they say. What they're talking about here is a high stakes exclusion zone for DMZ that is hidden somewhere in Al Mazrah. So we're going to look for the specifics of DMZ. There are parallels to this raid episode, which they keep talking about going underground, and they're showing pictures dimly lit and all this stuff. It's interesting that there's parallels. I don't know why everything is so similar, but it seems to be the effect and the feel of what DMZ's new zone will be. It's like dimly lit, atmospheric, underground, and utilization of lighting tools. So we're gonna look at this. We're going right over to the DMZ. I'm not covering the other stuff. I just have to get to it. So here they talk about DMZ again. The new DMZ experience is coming. Take the high risk. Earn valuable rewards by entering the Koschei complex. We hope you're not afraid of the dark. So they just lay out that it's going to be freaking dark, but there's going to be some stuff that you can do to address that and combat that. So, um, they're talking about Warzone stuff there. Now, finally, here we are. This Koschei is supposed to mean that you're, I don't know, that you live forever or that you're undying. Something like that. That's what this refers to. Some old thing I looked up. But go dark. So that whole Call of Duty going dark and all that stuff, now it's DMZ. They're showing this specifically in the DMZ section. So I have to assume that this is some of the areas that you can access. Um, and it's so interesting to me the way this is laid out. But they are only giving us a piece of meat. They throw it on the ground. They even reference Bravo 6 going dark. So what they say here is, and here's another picture. This is all DMZ exclusive. This is all confirmed. Somewhere in Al Mazrah, an underground complex is brewing, something that could shift the entire DMZ as we know it. So they keep referring to the secrets of DMZ, the radiation, the Building 21 secrets, and now we're talking about the Koschei complex. They left out some key information, as they do, but they're talking about that operators must find a way to locate one of the multiple entrances to this subterranean bunker complex and open it. So they're talking about multiple entrances to an underground bunker that is this complex. And I'm just going to go ahead and look at this picture. It's beautiful. And so here's what we know. Bit of spoiler alert if you haven't delved into the redacted Spec Ops mission set for Season 3. You may want to skip ahead or go away. But I'm going to go ahead and get into it now. So the way it goes, story mission, tier 3, final mission. Excuse me. They have you searching for 3 bunker entrances. So Intel leads you to finding the 3 bunker entrances that are currently marked walls that were set to be drilled or destroyed. And so the secret is that there's an entire complex inside there that was blockaded. So now we're going to go ahead and read the rest of this. What they say here is be proactive in adding illumination to your hardware. When you proceed inside, you might need flashlights. If you didn't know, there are flashlight additions or attachments for the guns that are actually functional in the world. The lighting is seems to interact with the world in a realistic way, so it lights up everything you would expect. It lights up the rooms. It lights up players. It lights up items that you find. So it's a real world illumination. So I was very impressed with the implementation of flashlights, but we basically always thought of it to be very useless, aside from looking very technically cool. But now we're learning that they're suggesting you use the lights. But not only that, they are actually confirming NVGs. That is night vision goggles. We have a confirmation that night vision goggles will be in DMZ, which is very huge because it's tied into the leaks of Al Mazrah having night mode. So it's so interesting, and it's actually, they keep hitting us with one and the other and the other. That is, they talked about the dynamic weather happening. They talked about night mode, which actually was the other way around. Now they're talking about night mode again. So it's kind of strange, but this seems to be the next thing. Again, just coming May 10th. Secure night visions, and then expecting some of the toughest outside of Building 21. So what do you counter Building 21? Well, you encounter the Wilson, you encounter Velikan. So we don't know if they're talking about bosses, mini bosses, or just the soldiers, because what we've seen is that they have the the what is kind of like a tier 4 of enemy that they've added, the Shadow Company. So it could be that there is a higher tier. It could be said that there's a tier 1 and tier 2 of Shadow Company, because they don't really have a lot. They have like the other enemy that was added, and it's kind of like parallel, a different kind of attack that they do, but we haven't really seen a tier 3 except to say that they have armored guards, which are pretty heavily armored. But it seems to be that there may be a third tier, a higher tier, a more difficult enemy, not as difficult as a Juggernaut, but not as easy as a tier 3 Shadow Company. So that could be something that we encounter, which could be very annoying. But you know what? We need to use perhaps the night may help us, or it may expose us depending on what kind of things we encounter in there. But they're not giving us any more information right now. They're saying that discover the complex for yourself once the facility is accessible during season 3 Reloaded. Is it going to be the case that we are getting tier 4 and tier 5 of redacted special operations? I think we're expecting that in the mid-season, and this is supposed to be the mid-season. So we're going to have new missions to do, and we can only assume that the missions are going to send us in and having us do actions inside of this zone. This kind of feels to me like the Dark Zone in what's the name of that game? The Tom Clancy game, which I can't think of the name. Division. Division 2. So anyway, I think that's all the DMZ information here. So I just wanted to make a video, and it definitely has been longer than I thought. But since I've scrolled down here, we are finally getting information on the weapons that they've been talking about. They've been teasing, they showed it. There's a previous iteration. Season 3 Reloaded is bringing 2 fully automatic handguns. So here we're seeing these. So it's going to be new weapons. It's going to be new weapons that we can level up. And might be useful for close quarters and dispatching people in close quarters. The Ninja Star, the Throwing Star becomes a lethal part of your arsenal. So it seems like we're going to be able to use the Japanese Throwing Star in DMZ. I'm not sure about that, but at least, I mean, it should be there. They have the throwing knives, and I don't know what the differences would be, but it'd just be fun to see them and use them. And I don't think it breaks the game because you already have a throwing star, and you've already been implementing this throwing star in Warzone. I think you've been able to access it. Let's see what they say about this. They're talking about an SMG here. What are we talking about here? The F-TAC Siege. Designed to be compact and maneuverable, this SMG is jaw-dropping fire rate, rapid swap speed, trusted secondary, highly customizable, fully automatic machine pistol. They call it an MP. New attachments, full suite. Yeah, which is what I expected. The thing that makes this gun the most interesting is that you're going to have a full suite of new attachments. It cannot be dual wielded yet. Whatever. I wouldn't expect this to be an optimum for dual wielding, but dual wielding people are fiends with those things. Gunsmithing options include drum mag, numerous barrels that offer extended range or mobility increase if you want to run and gun and jump. And then what else do they have? SMG grade stocks to convert it into an SMG is what they're saying. So this can be converted into an SMG, which is what you would expect. They borrowed the muzzles from the SMG class, so you're going to see all the anti-recoil and the flash fighters, the silencers and stuff, which will be great. How to unlock it. Weapon challenge. Get 50 sidearm, hip fire, operator kills using handguns or the store bundle. Alright, then we have what is that? GS Magna. This looks like a 50 cal Desert Eagle right here. What are we looking at? This fully automatic 50 cal boasts a thunderous rate of fire and enough power to put an end to anyone foolish enough to cross your path. Hold down the trigger and let this 50 cal speak for itself. It's a fully automatic variant of the Desert Eagle, which is not very realistic. I don't know why this thing is a thing. I don't really have a lot of interest in this. It has the ability to go akimbo and pulverize enemies at close range. So it's basically like a shotgun that you can spread out and direct. It has incredibly high recoil, like a shotgun. It can compete at extreme close ranges. So the interesting thing about this, which I wish they would have just given you like a stubby, like a specially designed shotgun instead of this, that could be a secondary, because the whole thing that we're talking about is nobody really gives a damn about the broadside, and they only bring it in because they don't want to get it used against them. So this is to combat the odd person who puts in their third slot a shotgun. It's like, forget about that. Just have a secondary. But then again, it's going to take up a shotgun slot, so I don't know. I'd rather have a shotgun than this. So I don't find this very attractive. All right, let's see what else we got. But I'm just saying, if you're mainlining an AR or SMG, and then somebody comes at you with a shotgun, this would be the answer. Whatever. Throwing star highlighted. Players got a taste for the throwing star. Now it's available for all players all the time. I guess you can select it. A longer range, faster with a longer range, higher amount that you can carry than the throwing knife. It requires a quick double tap to kill or one well-placed star to the head. Victims receive a wounded effect on all non-lethal impacts, giving a greater chance of success on the follow-up hit. So the wounding is referring to that they do not heal, their life does not heal for an extended period of time. Perfect complement to a stealth loadout. How to unlock it: get 50 kills using a throwing knife. They say easy money sniper. And then this is like blueprint stuff. I don't want to extend this too long. You can be a rat. Okay. Get ownership benefits. They're just plugging their own game. All right. That's it. See ya.